Stan Gibilisco here, proprietor and operator of amateur radio station W1GV, Whiskey 1 Good Vibrations, with a little lightning tale for you, actually a pair of them. When I worked at W1AW, the ARRL headquarters station in 1977 up until 1977 and 1978, we used to have thunderstorms occasionally in the summertime at night. In that part of the country, there certainly are thunderstorms, and W1AW used to keep operating right on through them. Well, the station was in a big room, and then in a smaller room, sort of off on the southwest corner of the building, was where all the feed lines came in. The feed line from the antennas on the 120-foot tower, and the dipoles, and a great big old matchbox, probably one of those big Johnson Viking mega matchboxes, you know, for the kilowatt, and all kinds of stuff leading outside to large wires which would acquire considerable current surges during thunder showers. Well, we had a particularly violent one night, and the transmitters were running, sending probably a CW bulletin or something like that. And I began to see flashes coming from that room off to the southwest. Brighter and brighter flashes. And then the thunder would shake the building. And I was thinking, you know, I'm wired up for death here. The telephone would ring. I would pick it up. There'd be no one on the line. It would ring spontaneously by itself. But all through storms like that, and there were a couple of them, I think, that I can remember, none of the equipment was ever damaged. At ARRL headquarters, I guess they know nothing, if not how, to build lightning arresters. Or maybe they were just lucky. But one of them scared me so much I sat right in the center of the room, Indian style, just waiting for the building to blow up and me be as far away from every wall as possible. I certainly didn't want to go down into the basement because I had to attend to the equipment, most of which was upstairs. And on the way down to the basement, I remember an overhang in the stairways that really gave me a good crack in the head every now and then. And one time it gave me a good bruise in the forehead. I took one of those label guns, and you remember those things where you dial it up letter by letter and it would make this label tape that would really not stick very well to anything, it seemed, but if you tried to get it off, lots of luck. Anyway, I wrote out on one of those black strips with the white print, Stan Gibilisco Memorial Overhang, and stuck it on that overhang. I wonder if it's still there today. I doubt it, but they've really changed that building in 30 years, but back then, everything was vacuum tubes, and they had an old 240TH? That doesn't seem right. It's 2-something TH vacuum tube, Class C 10-meter amplifier for the 10-meter CW transmitter, full kilowatt, 250TH, I think it was. And, but those, you know, you just kept right on going. That was my job, was to get that information out to the listeners, even if it meant that I had to die, I guess. The other time was during a field day when we began to have a thunderstorm, and I was running a frequency really, really great. This was back when I was a high school kid in Minnesota. And I was running a frequency really fine, and a thunder shower came up, and sparks started flying from the back of the transmatch. It was another Johnson Viking, not just Johnson transmatch. And I believe they call it a Johnson matchbox. And sparks began to fly from the back of that thing. I just kept right on operating. I mean, is that stupid or what? We had an open wire fed, probably 100-foot long dipole antenna for all bands, strung up between a couple of trees up at Assisi Heights, in the northwest part of Rochester, Minnesota. And we had, finally though, the storm became so intense that someone came in and said, you know, might not be a bad idea to shut down for a while. We ended up having to shut down for the rest of the night because that bloody thunder shower lasted all night long. It was one of those kind that you sometimes get in Minnesota. Just a line one after the other. But Lightning Follies DE Whiskey 1 Good Vibrations. I'm trying to think up some phonetics that fit for the lightning, but I guess really good vibrations. Anyway, those are a couple of tales. W1GV, proprietor and operator of a ham radio station which now resides in a cave in the black holes of Dakota Territory, United States of Advertising, saying 73 and so long for now. Bye-bye.